Hello, this is just a very quick video for those who are having problems starting or any problems with setting up the steam gauge overhaul analog King Air from Black Square. I'm not going to go through all of the checklists. I'm not going to go through each and every step that's required to get the aircraft running properly. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to get into the cockpit and I'm going to go through basically the minimum steps that are required for you to be able to fly this in a sim. So going into the cockpit, the first thing that I'm going to do is get rid of the yokes. They get in the way sometimes, so it's easier to deal with them when they're not there. The second thing that I'm going to do is that you will notice that the throttles are not fully back. The aircraft does simulate the throttle beta range, so we will leave them at ground idle, which is behind the throttles at the moment. You can't actually see it. I'm also going to increase the props to full so that they're out of the feather position, decreasing the load on the engines as you start them. Now there's three things that you need to start any engine. You need fuel, you need oxygen, and you need ignition source. With a turbine engine, you also need rotation of the engine. You need the airflow through the engine. If you don't have that, then you will end up with the fuel catching fire, the heat inside the engine isn't going out the back. You've got an engine fire. It's called a hot start. So what we will do is we will turn the battery master on to bring the thing to life. We will turn on the beacon so that everybody knows what we're doing. Confirm that we're out of beta range, and we will start the second engine first. We will move the right starter to the top position to ignition and engine start. We will then check that the engine actually starts turning. I'll clear the master caution and warning signs while I'm there. Engine is turning. The turbine percentage RPM is above 20. Introduce fuel. Check the ITT gauge, make sure that it doesn't go above the maximum start value of 1000 degrees C, which it doesn't. It's dropping back again. Check the turbine percent RPM again. As soon as that's stabilized, the engine has started. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to come down to the electrical panel, I'm going to reset the generator, and I'm going to turn the inverter on. And you will notice that although the AC bus has gone out, the DC bus has not. And that's because I've left the right starter turned on. So what I will do, I will trip those again, and then I will return the right starter to the middle position to off. That's one of the most common mistakes that people make when they're starting this aircraft. Now, when I said that, the DC generator light goes out, the AC bus light goes out. You'll notice that the master warnings come back on again because I turned everything off. That's not a problem. So now we need to start the second engine, and to do that, rather than draining the battery anymore, what I'll do is start it off the second engine. So we will move the engine to condition to high idle. All that's doing is making the engine run a little faster, providing a little bit more power through the generator and the inverter to start the number one engine. We'll then move the left starter to the top position, check for rotation. Back to the gauges, check the turbine percentage RPM, above 20, introduce fuel. ITT gauge, stops short of 900, turbine percentage RPM again, watch for the engines catch. There's the engine igniting. Now what I need to do now, as mentioned, starter off, reset the DC generator, inverter on, and then I'm going to bring the number 2 engine back down to low idle, so they're both running at low idle. Auto ignition on, auto feather on, and turn the pitot heats on because we've got power now. And you will notice that although the engines are running, we've still got warning displays lit on both annunciator panels, which is what I'm now going to deal with. So the first one we'll deal with, we'll get these up here, left and right bleed fail. That's easy to resolve by opening the bleed air valves. That's those two cleared. Coming down to the bottom, the next one I'll deal with is oxygen not armed. That's that little lever down here, packs oxygen, pulled up, that's cleared. The next two that we'll deal with are pitch trim off and rudder boost off, and they are on these switches down here, electric trim and rudder boost. But another mistake here, you will notice rudder boost is still off. The reason for that is that I have deliberately not started the avionics up. So what I will do is turn the rudder boost back off again and turn the avionics on. Again, that's another common mistake that people make. While the two Garmins boot themselves, if I now turn the rudder boost back on, the indication is gone. What you will see now is that the external power gauge is flashing because we're parked at the parking spot. External power is available, it's enabled over here. We haven't used it for this example. But for each engine you've got no fuel transfer, you've got ignition on, and you've got prop pitch. Those indications will not go out until you increase power. So as you increase power to move, to start flying, those indications will be extinguished. I'll show you that just for the sake of doing this. I will increase to above idle, and you should see that all 6 indications other than external power go out. There you go. All cleared except for external power. Bring that back down to ground fine. They'll come back on again. But that's it. That's all you need to do to actually fly the aircraft. Obviously you can set the pressurization, you can set the internal temperature, you can turn on the ice as necessary, anything else that you want to do to increase the realism of your flight, but that will actually get you to the point where you can taxi, where you can get into the air. I hope that's been of use, and thank you very much for watching.